adofo ne etie fo amohwe me medamu ina amase ngidi se obada roma ho ye se de meso me ho ye ade achi biem de na de bia ne emu nsensem nsefufo na de bia edi akoniaba nsema emudo etifo ebentuma gibre ne kuti nsema eden agi ne ho me na emra
term the conduct of Mr. Speaker and then the NDC minority, and it was very rich. It was very rich to hear Dr. Forson immediately proclaiming to be a majority leader. In fact, Mr. Speaker himself, in spite of doing their bidding, fell short of declaring them to be the majority, in spite of all. And then he still found space to address me as majority leader and still address him as minority leader. But again, they further exposed themselves, because immediately after, their flag bearer was on a campaign platform claiming that God has given them the majority status. Is that how God grants majority status on individuals who are full of mischief, vicious, and evil? What they did was evil. What they did in Parliament yesterday was evil. NDC does not believe in democracy. They believe in chaos. And we are law-abiding citizens. We in the MPP are Democrats. We believe in the rule of law, and that is why we calmly left the chamber for them. And we know that if we make our case well in court, the court will make a determination that would advance the cause of democracy.
Surprised that the court convened so fast on a Friday to hear this matter. But let's get into the specifics. The court was presided over by the Chief Justice herself, Madam Gertrude Tokono. The other members of the panel were Justice Kwame Adibo-Asiedu, Justice Yao Dakwasare, Justice Ernest Yaogayewu, and Justice Mariam Owusu from the 5 members of the panel. And the lawyers for Alexander Afenyo Markin, who was the plaintiff and applicant in this matter, was Pakwesi Abedu. Okay. It must be put on record that this was an ex parte application. What this means in law is that the court heard only from Alexander Afenyo Markin and his lawyers, Pakwesi Abedu, because the other parties were not in court. And they were not in court not because they didn't attend, but because the application was short-served. And ex parte applications are in such a way that the court will hear only from the persons who are seeking specific release or who are making the application before the court. So this was an ex parte. The court did ask lawyer Pakwesi Abedu, lawyer for Richard Alexander Afenyo Markin, why he had come by way of ex parte. He explained that there were key business in Parliament that would be hampered if the status quo remained. That is, the ruling of the Speaker remained. A lot of business will be hampered because the governing party side will not be able to push through their business. And then they went on to make a point that the NDC were seeking to gain political advantage with all that was happening. But the court, through Mariam Owusu, did point out that, listen, this is a court, we are not interested in the politics of this. Can you argue law? And then he went on to talk about the fact that the ruling of the Speaker or the decision of the Speaker denied the constituents in Fomena, in Agona West, in Surum, and Amenfi Central their right of representation in Parliament. So he makes that point. He then goes ahead to make the point that the Speaker, by that decision he made yesterday, usurped the original exclusive jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. And then he goes on to talk about the steps being taken by the MPs does not amount to cross-carpeting, because the point was made by the Speaker of Parliament that by the conduct of these MPs, they are cross-carpet. The Speaker's, the Supreme Court, and the argument that was made at the court by lawyer Pakwesi Abedu for Alexander Afenyo Markin was that that did not amount to cross-carpeting. The Chief Justice asked Pakwesi Abedu at the time, were these persons heard? Because the rule of natural justice was so paramount. It was the Chief Justice asking Pakwesi Abedu this question. The Pakwesi Abedu says, no, these persons were not heard. That is when Mariam Owusu comes again. But this is your strongest point. We expect that you will be canvassing this point of natural justice before the court and not the political tangent that you sought to go on earlier. And then that point was made about natural justice. And then he then paid the court to then actually stay the ruling of the Speaker of Parliament until the full determination on the matter.
Okay.
But just before the court will recline and go to pray his ruling and come back, the Chief Justice then asked the lawyer whether or not this application had been served on the Speaker.
Okay.
And then he did indicate that yes, the court bailiff did try to do that, and the legal directorate of Parliament did not want to receive it. Mind you, there has been a circular from the Chief Justice that when you want to serve the Speaker of Parliament, you need to serve him only on Mondays. That is the basis on which reason the staff office, the staff in Parliament did not want to receive the document. But that document was thrown at them.
Okay.
And the Chief Justice then made the point that throwing the document at these persons was effectively service. So Pakwesi Abedu then was asking the Supreme Court, because he was coming by way of an interim injunction, to grant a 10-day injunction, after which they will come on notice. This time around, they will come, and then an opportunity will be given to the Speaker of Parliament and the other persons to also come and defend themselves in court. So that is the application they made. When the court did recline to come and prepare their ruling and came back, the court then said that they have read the affidavits and all the issues that came up. They really believe these are really important matters for which reason they need to intervene and actually give their in fact, the wording of the Chief Justice was reading the ruling was that they appreciate the urgency and special circumstances of this case, and that denying the constituents the right to representation was not right pending the determination of this matter. And that they said that the case raises real and fundamental issues. And then they proceeded to grant the application to stay this ruling by the Speaker of Parliament. But like I told you,
for the 10 days, right?
Well, that is where it gets interesting. Pakwesi Abedu asked for 10 days. The Supreme Court said no, 10 days is not enough. We're going to give you more than that. So the court says they are staying the execution of that decision by the Speaker of Parliament until the full determination of the matter. So they are not going to give room for 10 days, come back and all that.
So what happens within that period in Parliament?
So between now and when the full determination of this case is made, these MPs will be expected to come to Parliament, and that is the order. In fact, the order of the Supreme Court was that the defendants should be, these MPs should be allowed to actually come and perform their duties, and that the ruling of the Speaker has been stayed. And the court says, because they want to deal with this matter expeditiously, within 7 days, the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General should file their statement of case, and then after that, all the parties in 7 days must also file their memorandum of understanding for the case, the issues to be set down. Majority leader, whose majority is no longer in doubt, Alexander Afenyo Markin, they speak to journalists after the court ruling. Here is what he had to say.
Well, this is MPP. The founders of our tradition use the court to do right. And true to it, we are Democrats. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe in mischief and unnecessary political chaos. We came to court believing that the court will do right, and indeed the court has just done that. The rights of those MPs have been reinforced, as well as the rights of those constituents who elected them. I will leave the Ghanaian public to peruse the full ruling of the court, and then the discussions can continue. But let me thank my colleagues in leadership, especially the hard-working majority chief whip, for all the support and his industry. I thank senior members of Parliament, Uncle Joe Gatti, Honorable Kennedy Japan, not the least Uncle K.T. Hammond, and others who have been supporting me. Again, equally important are my colleagues in the backbench, especially those who lost their primaries. They've been with us thick and thin. The whole of last night we didn't sleep. We've been working all night. I myself, being a practitioner of our courts, make sure we put together a solid case. And this afternoon, we've had justice. Now, those NDC people who are, walking all over the place, proclaiming, if they know the law, they should now face us in the law. This is the majority leader speaking.
Six man in my instances are Nina so Tiona Nina so and Saka say Uncle Siagano.
Menina so and say, Osha Yamrakuni anymore. under Article 131A of the Constitution, the Supreme Court of Ghana, and including with the jurisdiction, say about the interpretation and enforcement of the Constitution now, only will be unchecked. That's the to me, and if you Article 99(1)(a), so High Court and also no jurisdiction to declare a parliamentary seat, and answer to declare parliamentary seat vacant, and also no only will be unchecked. And when she says Speaker of Parliament, Etnam Rasibidum, now a question of constitutional interpretation arise now Otsanidum, now or no Kasa Danin Supreme Court, invoke the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and Article 131. Now Oman Chichirimu, no real no sub constituting itself into a high court. Now we declare seat vacant. Who years prefer say a near Emrano Parliament, Masibidano, Emrano yet sign a immediate share almost and which I mean say a much ado about nothing. Something I wrote what was I think on Sunday and I reflected today. It's something I wrote on Sunday and I reflected today say a much ado about nothing and politics as usual and I end this Amanyokuno and nan Yura Aban Swanikens for Babin so Edem Nasibijano Adani an extension of the NDC office Adabraka office no and the Parliament of Ghana. You see ABY they see that Enrano should be termed as Ghana's Parliament's Day of Shame. Ghana's Parliament's Day of Shame. You see, once we believe in the rule of law now, I will say all other friends say your constitution, you know, Ediamayan, Yajitum. Article 132 I can't be say even all other courts, Court of Appeal, High Court, regional tribunals, circuit court, district court, juvenile court, any idea you know, or what's not say now omudi media and Article 1254 yaklodi omo with the judicial authority, you know, say a question of constitutional interpretation arise here, they should stay and refer the matter of constitutional interpretation to the Supreme Court. So Article 70, Article 97, 1 G and H and G, or say G and H, I bet to be say, would say interpretation NDC members of Parliament, any of my lawyer for ascribing to her, different from what the people on the other side are also ascribing to. And it means all parties are ascribing giving rival interpretations to a provision of the Constitution. Clearly, you know, he also recommend mirror for no more jurisdiction to settle it. And it's a black speaker, our lawyer opinion. Now, we are the most experienced member of Parliament. What's some Masebe Jim Horn match from 1993? Abeji Sabri, I know rise about Speaker of Parliament, you know, or can say or defer no back with me ruling. No, I felt say or consultation. No, the catch there and say the question of constitutional interpretation na abemuno or stay no refer that matter to the Supreme Court for interpretation. Now Supreme Court can say we are or the Namibia also the Parliament also not stating the position per the interpretation of Supreme Court at the babano. Now so I know sir the buyer a confusion and then guasia kese abre the Speaker of Parliament na kasemu na kagana na sibija na magana ababe laughing stock because international community ni ubiano experience what's happening in Ghana. What is happening in Ghana? You see, Article 97 clearly the framers of the Constitution at the share say enya de bako and preserve the verdict of the Ghanaian people. Your call election 2020, the good people of Ghana and make a definite verdict, and a definite verdict near say almost say Yama MPP Amanyoko no 137 seats. Yama NDC Amanyoko code 137 seats. Then Yama Kontonkro independent candidate, a member of Parliament so bako. This is what we want the Parliament of Ghana to be composed of. This is the verdict of the Ghanaian people. They can cross carpeting. Cross carpeting. Clearly the era honorable why you say anytime. You see ya no NDC member of Parliament. No one can serve notice. Extra than Sanokrata. And the man Speaker of Parliament. And man Speaker of Parliament. So the man Electoral Commission. Say we cross carpet to the New Patriotic Party. And means you know you didn't get the city vacant. Electoral Commission made by election. That was in the life of a particular Parliament. The life of every Parliament in the ABY unique. Anything I wish I could find so Nasibeja for Omusaya and I say you swear Omu Ina a different. Who's Anaju? Omotina Equa Homachia near dissolve the existing Parliament, especially on the night of the 6th January.
About 12.
about 12 may swear in the new speaker of parliament. It means that the life of a new parliament has begun. It's age parliament Naomi. Nyame ademi atimkomo on 6 January 2025. The night of 6 January, not the age parliament will be dissolved, and about 12 o'clock, 12 midnight, I will see a swear in the new speaker of parliament or no, and every name as I take charge of the 9th parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Because parliament near Bakwa, a Kenya first parliament of the 4th Republic, Yenya second parliament of the 4th Republic, Yenya third parliament of the 4th Republic, Ababa do the 8th parliament I umi. And unique. Every time I coffee, I chair or my conquer Jessica Mamo. I friend S. Gracia. We don't need a castle say such a moon in your home because of how you treat parliamentarians and some government officials and a friend say article Article 71 office holders no. Yeah, such a room because they have a definite lifespan in parliament. Yeah, about 4 years. 4 years also being a Juma. So the Ghanaian people ne compose the parliament no. As I also say in our next composition of parliament, you don't say could be